Hello and welcome to the freebets.com Premier League preview. It's crystal ball time and I'm joined by Gypsy Rose Lee, or Matt Le Tissier as he's also known, who's going to tell you who he thinks will win the Premier League and who will be less lucky at the bottom of the league. Let's start at the top, Matt. Chelsea 15-8, Man City 9-4, the rest you have to say nowhere.
I think it will be between those two, yeah. Obviously Arsenal will think they'll have a pretty good say in it. A lot of people think United will obviously be a lot better than last season. Which I'm sure they will, but I think it's a huge gap to try and make up in one season. So it will be for me between Chelsea and City, and I'm just edging on the side of Manchester City.
There you go, City 9-4. Their near neighbours, of course, have had a big change in the dugout in the shape of Louis van Gaal. They're 9-2. Feels a little bit short for me. I don't think that all that was wrong at United last season was the manager.
No, I think 9-2 is a little bit too skinny for me. I think that's a huge ask to go from where they were. I think it would need a lot of new signings and more than they've made already, and I think they're still a couple of defenders short of being a title chasing team.
Now, many people have written Liverpool off, obviously, with Suarez going. They've signed an awful lot of players otherwise, so 10-1 if you're a Liverpool fan, it seems a big price.
It is a big price, and I was a little bit surprised that they were that long, to be honest with you. I thought after what they did last season, obviously, the bookies have felt that losing Suarez has been a huge blow to them, really. They have strengthened, they've got numbers in, the squad's a lot deeper, but whether or not the starting 11 is going to be stronger is a different question altogether, and I think that's probably why the bookies have got them as long as 10 or 11-1.
Something to be said as well for Liverpool last season, having the chance last season because of obviously Chelsea and certainly United in a period of reorganisation. 66-1 bar, it really is a 5-horse race. One we've not mentioned already, of course, is Arsenal, who are at 6-1. Cracking start in the Charity Shield, threw down a marker in that. Will they have the longevity over the course of the season?
Well, I must admit that I was a bit surprised that Arsenal were longer odds than Manchester United. To be honest with you, I think obviously they've got Theo Walcott to come back, who missed a large chunk of last season. And obviously Alexis Sanchez is a fantastic signing, very good footballer. So they're going to be stronger this year again. So I think Arsenal at 6-1 look a lot better value to me than maybe United at 9-2.
There you go, Arsenal at 6-1. But Matt's tip at the top of the league is Man City at 9-4. Premier League relegation, of course, is another affair, and as you'd expect, the promoted teams are near the top of the betting. Burnley odds on at 4-7, QPR 15-8, West Brom and Leicester both 9-4. Is it amongst those four, Matt, or can we look at outsiders too?
No, I think you could look outside of that. I think in the Premier League, there's probably at the start of the season you'd probably say there's maybe 10 or 11 teams that could get relegated. I think obviously Burnley are the ones that people will look at because of the finances at the club. Haven't invested that much money in the squad, so I think they're, for me, are probably the ones that you'll say they'll definitely go back down again. Having said that, I said the same thing about Crystal Palace last year, and although they did look done and dusted until Tony came in, but these things happen, and so 4-7, I would have said Burnley would have been one of the ones. I would probably look at perhaps Leicester. I think QPR will be a little bit stronger in the Premier League, and with obviously Harry's experience in Glenn there in the background helping out, I think they'll be stronger. I think Leicester might also struggle a little bit. I've not been overly impressed with the players that they've bought to try and strengthen.
What about a lower? Unproven.
A little bit unproven. It's not in today's market. It's not a huge amount of money. So he's taken a little bit of a risk there with somebody who's not played in this division. But he would have, Nigel would have done his scout and felt that this boy could make a difference in the league. So, but I think it'll be tough for Leicester, and I think they might be joining Burnley. And then I think you're looking at possibly Aston Villa, who have, for the last couple of seasons have been on the slide a little bit, and I think they might be a little surprise package that might just slip into the bottom three this year, and which would be incredible given the longevity of their stay in the top flight. It's been amazing.
Club that Randy Lerner are desperate to sell, but no one seems desperate to buy. But across the West Midlands, West Brom have obviously been tipped up as well. They're 9-4, same price as newly promoted Leicester City. Alan Irvine, not necessarily everyone's most exciting of signings, but will he have enough?
I think possibly just. I think they'll be in amongst it. I think they'll be in that battle down there. But I think that they've got now a good few seasons under their belt in the Premier League, and that counts for a lot. And I think perhaps the experience of the players there might just be enough to keep them up.
Well, there you go. Matt thinks that Leicester, Burnley and Villa are for the chop, and his money is on City to win the league. Hope your season-long bets go well. Don't forget all your best tips are at freebets.com.